When you hear the word Dalmatian, you probably picture a dog, white coat, black spots, perhaps racing beside a fire truck or starring in a Disney movie. But behind that name lies a much older story, one that begins not with puppies, but with a place. What do spotted dogs, Croatian coastlines, and an ancient region of Europe have in common? The answer lies in the name Dalmatian. It's more than just a cute breed. It's a story of geography and empire and culture and how history leaves its mark even on our pets. So how exactly did Dalmatia give its name to dogs? Dalmatia is a rugged region along the eastern Adriatic coast, today part of Croatia. The earliest connection between dogs and Dalmatia is partly archaeological, partly legendary. Wall paintings and manuscripts from the region show spotted hunting dogs accompanying nobles and clerics. In the Middle Ages, records from Croatian coastal towns describe a distinct type of dog with a white coat and darker markings. The 14th century chronicles of Dubrovnik mention spotted dogs kept by Dalmatian nobles. By the 16th century, church documents and travelogues from the Adriatic coast also refer to these dogs, describing them as both guardians and companions. Some historians argue that the breed existed elsewhere in Europe and only later took the Dalmatian name. But enough medieval and Renaissance references tie spotted dogs specifically to the Dalmatian coast that the association became lasting. In paintings from the Baroque era, especially across Central Europe, you can often spot dogs resembling Dalmatians, standing beside carriages or walking with aristocrats. These early depictions suggest the breed was spreading, but its identity remained rooted in its coastal homeland. What and where is Dalmatia? Dalmatia stretches along Croatia's coast, from the island-dotted waters of Zadar to the walled city of Dubrovnik. It is a narrow, mountainous land pressed between the Adriatic Sea and the Dinaric Alps. Its name itself comes from the ancient Illyrian tribe known as the Dalmati, who lived here long before Rome expanded eastward. The Romans conquered the region in the 1st century BCE, turning Dalmatia into a province. Cities like Salona and Split flourished under their rule. Even today, Roman ruins, amphitheaters, aqueducts, and palaces dot the landscape. Diocletian, one of Rome's most famous emperors, built his retirement palace here, a structure that still forms the core of modern Split. Dalmatia became a meeting point of cultures. Slavic migrations in the early Middle Ages blended with Romanized locals. Venetian merchants later dominated its ports, building elaborate stone cities along the water. Each era left its stamp on Dalmatia's identity. It is this deep sense of place, a region that endured wars, shifting borders, and cultural mixing, that would one day lend its name to a dog breed known worldwide. By the 17th and 18th centuries, the Dalmatian had become known as a carriage dog. Wealthy nobles, especially in England and Central Europe, used them to trot alongside horse-drawn carriages. Their endurance, loyalty, and distinct spotted coats made them ideal for the task. The breed's Croatian origins were noted by naturalists of the time. In 1719, a bishop from Dalmatia described the spotted dogs in Latin writings. By the 18th century, the name Dalmatian was being used in kennel manuals across Europe. The carriage dog tradition reinforced the breed's association with elegance and mobility. The Dalmatian wasn't just a pet, it was a symbol of wealth, travel, and status. This reputation would follow it into the modern era. Why did the name Dalmatian stick, when so many other breeds have names detached from geography? The answer lies in the role of the Catholic Church and nobility. In Dalmatian monasteries and churches, spotted dogs were often kept as guard animals. Pilgrims and travelers along the Adriatic coast encountered them, spreading word of the dogs of Dalmatia. Clerics wrote their descriptions into church records, reinforcing the geographic tie. Meanwhile, aristocrats who visited or traded with Dalmatia adopted the dogs as symbols of refinement. Their coats made them stand out, their loyalty made them useful, and their origins gave them a story. By the Enlightenment, the breed was firmly labeled after its homeland. From firehouses to Disney. In the 19th century, Dalmatians found a new role, working alongside fire brigades. Their natural compatibility with horses made them perfect for clearing paths for fire wagons. When the engines later became motorized, the dogs remained as mascots and companions. This firehouse tradition cemented the Dalmatian in popular imagination, especially in America. By the 20th century, it had become one of the most recognized breeds worldwide. Then came Hollywood. In 1961, Disney released 101 Dalmatians. The film immortalized the breed, making it synonymous with childhood nostalgia. A later live-action remake in the 1990s reinforced the image. Ironically, by this time, many viewers had no idea that the dog's name came from an Adriatic region. The breed's identity had become global, even as its roots remained in a narrow strip of Croatian coastline. Modern Dalmatia is a thriving part of Croatia, known for its beaches, islands, and historic cities. Dubrovnik's medieval walls attract millions of visitors each year. Split, built around Diocletian's palace, is a living museum of Roman architecture. For dog enthusiasts, the connection to the Dalmatian breed adds a layer of charm. Tourists often visit the region curious about its canine legacy. Local breeders still celebrate the historic link, and the Dalmatian remains an unofficial symbol of the coast. The region that once gave the world its name continues to inspire. Every time someone calls out to a spotted dog in a park, they echo a story that began centuries ago on the shores of the Adriatic. Names carry history. They preserve memory long after empires fall and borders change. Dalmatia has been ruled by Romans, Venetians, Ottomans, and Austrians, but its name endures in a breed of dog loved across the globe. So the next time you see a Dalmatian, remember, you're not just looking at a spotted coat. You're seeing the legacy of a coastline, a region whose identity leapt from maps into everyday life. That is how Dalmatia gave its name to dogs. If you enjoyed learning about Dalmatia, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more hidden stories of the world's most fascinating places.